welcome to Inquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with today's fountain pen video. The folks at the Amazon store Lanxivi contacted me and offered to send me 2 items from their store. This Duke 551 Confucius Fude nibbed fountain pen and this 3-pen leather case from the brand Lanxivi. I couldn't get my tongue around the pronunciation of this name, so I ran it through Google Translator, and it is Latin, pronounced Lanxivi. The translation means, I fainted.
Sorry, I fainted. Oh.
Well, the products are very nice, but I'm not going to swoon over them. Why don't we ask Confucius and see what he thinks? Confucius says, everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Sounds very much like beauty is in the eye of the beholder to me. So let's take a look and see for ourselves right now. So I have a couple of packages here from China to unbox for you today. I should explain that I sent a note, one of those coupons that you get, join us on Amazon and get 20% off or something like that. I sent a note in saying that I have a YouTube channel, and they were nice enough to send me some of their gear for review. So this one I think is a pen pouch. Yes, there it is. Faux leather pen pouch. There we go. Silica gel. Save that for the children.
Are you married or happy? You have a very tough beard, like nails. I'm saving this for the children. Yes. Make mud pies.
And save that one for the other children. And there we are. It's nice and soft on the inside. Leather-like. No, it's not leather-like. It's leather. This is actual pigskin. And I'm not sure what this is, but it's suede. Not sure what animal it's come from, but it's suede. That looks very nice. I'll have to do a review of that 3-pen pouch. And I think this is Lanxivi. All kinds of X's in there with weird pronunciations. I'll try to get the proper pronunciation of that when I do the review. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's interesting. This is a Duke, and it's very heavy, a large clip, and a huge Fude nib. Cartridge converter, Chinese standard, and a metal section, but a nice flare and some nice Greek keying around there. And this has an overlaid nib. This is very interesting. It's got this extra part on top of the nib and then goes to the Fude. We'll have to see whether it writes upside down and how controllable that is. Post, but it's a very big pen. That looks like Confucius to me. So this might be the Duke Confucius. We'll have to see what that Chinese lettering says. I'll show the parts and features of this pen, show some size comparisons and measurements, and then provide a writing sample. And then I'll talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. First, who was Confucius? Confucius was a Chinese philosopher who lived from 551 to 479 BCE, before the Common Era. He was the founder of Confucianism as the author or editor of the 5 classics, one of which was the I Ching, that underpin Eastern Asian culture and society and remain influential across China and East Asia to this day. Overall, this pen is large and heavy. Here it is next to my Delta Dolce Vita 2. You can see it's a little bit larger and significantly heavier. The Duke 551 weighs in at a wrist-bending 65.5 grams. It is black enamel paint over brass on the cap, with a composition plastic sleeve over brass barrel and a black plastic end finial. From the top, we see a medallion that has 3 stylized Chinese characters. The edges of the top finial are rounded over to the black enamel and chrome barrel that is bordered top and bottom with Greek key patterns, and has Chinese characters down one side and a drawing of Confucius on the other. After a number of options, from benevolent people love others to butt lovers, I loosely translated the Chinese writing to mean be kind to others. I'll go with that. The clip is very wide with Greek key patterns all the way down until a circle at the tip with a crown design in the center. And the clip is relatively stiff, but it is usable. The cap is straight to a chrome collar at the top of the barrel that has Duke on the front and the model number on the back. The barrel is straight to another chrome band and then the tapering black plastic end finial, the bottom of which is domed. The barrel is made of some sort of composition plastic with brown and tan striations to give the impression of simulating bamboo. The cap unscrews with 3/4 of a turn to reveal a tapering chrome metal section and a number 6 size steel fude nib and black plastic feed. There is a silicone ring at the bottom of those cap threads that keeps the barrel from unscrewing during use. The section is very slick and has another Greek key pattern towards a step-up flare just before the nib. Let's look more closely at this nib. There's a strip of steel that overlays the nib and has Chinese writing down the center. The closest my translator gets to this is awaiting bookmaking, which I interpret to mean something to the effect of this pen waits for your writing. I would hate to have to write an entire book with a fude nib, especially in a pen that weighs 65 pounds, or 65 grams. Looking at it from the side, you can see the large, roughly 45-degree fude bend, and that metal strap that lays across the nib serves no functional purpose that I can ascertain. Fude is a Japanese word for brush, and it's appropriate because these nibs do behave like Japanese kanji writing paintbrushes, which are called shodo. And no, don't write me letters, this is not a Japanese pen. The nib and feet are friction fit and not part of a nib assembly that can be unscrewed. The section does unscrew to reveal the included upscale cartridge converter, which has a reinforced nipple, can be disassembled with that collar, and is branded Duke Germany on the collar. The inside of the cap shows a black plastic cap liner. That brass nut at the top there holds the top finial and clip in place and will not corrode. But the bolt inside that nut looks chrome-plated to me, and that will certainly rust over time. The cap posts on that black plastic end finial, but not too deeply or securely, and severely backweights the pen, so makes it useless. Unposted, the pen is still pretty heavy at 38 grams, but the weight is balanced towards the nib, and so it makes it relatively comfortable. The section is comfortable, but very slippery, and quite a fingerprint magnet. This Duke 551 Confucius came from the Lanxivi shop on Amazon and sells for $34.99 US. It comes in 4 wood-like finishes. This bamboo finish, which the Amazon website calls Confucius bamboo, tiger wood, not the golfer, redwood, and ebony wood. Lanxivi also sent me this wonderful 3-pen leather pen case. When I was unpacking this, I assumed it would be faux leather, not real leather, judging by the price. But to my surprise, it's genuine pigskin leather and has a beautiful gray soft suede lining and a zipper closure with a leather tag. This 3-pen case sells for $22.99 US and comes in 4 colors: this reddish brown, black, pink, and coffee. The coffee version has a matching lining, whereas the others are gray like this one. I've been using this case as my go-to pen carry case since I received it in mid-December, and I found it to be extremely well made with a sturdy zipper and strong stitching. There's even a little slot in here for cards. At this price point, I expected it to come to pieces within a couple of weeks. My 48-pen Lanxivi pen case is 3 years old now and works very, very well. And now let's look at some size comparisons. And here is the Duke 551 Fude with a Hongdian N24 Year of the Dragon, a Fuliwen Ancient Civilizations, a Fuliwen 017, and a Jinhao X159. Now let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. The only one that I would actually use posted would be the Jinhao X159. And these 2 pens I just post them for show because that won't stay on there, and they're hugely long and back-weighted. Now let's look at them unposted. And here they are unposted. You can see that they're more normally sized when they're unposted. And these two pens are the lightest, whereas these are particularly heavy pens. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Duke 551 Confucius. And it has a number 6 size steel Fude nib. Let's check the wetness. Well, it's a paintbrush, all right. Very, very wet. And the nib is smooth with some good feedback. And the ink today is KWZ Aztec Gold, which is an iron gall ink. And as to line variation, well, that's the whole point of this Fude nib. I'll demonstrate the versatility of this nib, going from high angles to low angles. Right now I've been sort of writing with a pretty high angle on there just to get my writing to be legible. But let's start very, very high here. You can see you get almost a stub-like character when it's vertical. And as you move down to like 60 degrees, the horizontals start getting thicker, down to a maybe 50-degree angle here. Starting to get very thick. The 45 is when the nib is pretty much placed right on the page flat. And so you get a much thicker line and a real paintbrush horizontally. So you can see you get lots of line character depending on your elevation. And you can see how you can use it like a paintbrush. You can even reverse it and get a fairly nice writing line, which is thinner and drier and much more controllable. Artists and sketchers would love this nib. You get all kinds of line variation this way, and then if you want to write or sketch in very thin lines, you can get a thin line by turning it over and then paint in thick lines like this. So it's very, very versatile. And this nib creates between a 0.3 to 0.4 line, both vertically and horizontally, forward and reverse, which is like an extra fine. And then it goes to this very thick line here, which I've measured with my calipers, and it is 2.7 millimeters thick. And for our quote: and for some quick writing. Yeah, this feed has no difficulty at all keeping up with this paintbrush. So what do I like and what do I not like about this fountain pen? Like the Hongdian N24 Year of the Dragon, the Duke 511 is an interesting conversation piece for your desk as a paperweight or a doorstop, but in the hand it's a big, heavy, unwieldy fountain pen. It doesn't really post, the section is slippery, and the aesthetics are, well, subject to your personal tastes. The nib is the most interesting thing about this pen. If the nib were in a more manageable pen, as it is, it's difficult enough to manipulate a Fude nib without having to fight a heavy pen. And the nib assembly doesn't unscrew either. There are Fude nibs out there attached to pens that are easier to handle than this. If you're interested in writing with a Fude nib, seek out something a little more friendlier than this paperweight. The one that comes to mind is the Sailor Prophet Fude nib fountain pen, which is around $20 US on Amazon. As to the Lanxivi leather pen case, I love it. It holds my top 3 most precious pens at the moment. my Pelican M800, my Pelican M600, and my 1946 Parker Vacuumatic Azure Pearl. Thanks go out to Jack of the Amazon store, Lanxivi, for providing these items for review. I'll provide a link to their Amazon store where you can purchase both the Duke and the 3-pen Lanxivi cases. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, sneak peek unboxing videos, as well as instant access to my videos the moment I post them. And that just leaves it for me to say, thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.